so, all right, so, okay. It's hard to catch our contradictory beliefs and even harder to reconcile them. The people who've said, Brina, the Bible says that if you're gay, you're going to hell, are the same people that have had sex or maybe even children before marriage, which is a total contradiction. Because of how often we are continuously taking in information, it's important to know what information you should take with a grain of salt. Throughout my life, I've heard many things that didn't go hand in hand with what I had previously heard from that person, such as all sins are equal, but your sin is worse. It's because of those instances that I'd like to clear up the confusion on contradictions. Today, I will inform you on contradictions by looking at 3 different points that will ultimately help you when trying to filter out the information of which you receive. For my first topic, I'll be telling some varying examples of contradictions and what they might stem from. For my second topic, I will state some ways that you can filter out contradictions. And lastly, I will be giving some insight as to how to avoid making self-contradicting statements. Before I can inform you of anything, it's important for me to explain what I'm talking about when I say contradictions. As I stated earlier, religion is often a place where contradictions stem from. And it's not from the Bible itself, rather than people who use the Bible's teachings incorrectly. When I was younger and in Sunday school, I was taught that all sins are equal. Being gay and sex before marriage is the same amount of sin when keeping the Bible in mind. And without including the fact that homosexuality is never mentioned in the Bible, but that's a different topic for a different day. Another way we can look at contradictions in a less controversial way is to look at our government. Civic Issues Ryan Fasak says that I'm old enough to fight for a war, but I can't drink. We get deployed at 18, but we can't drink until we are 21. Ryan Fasak from Civic Issues also states that while a raised drinking age may keep the roads slightly safer, it can seem inconsistent to have minors able to fight in wars. You might be thinking, Brina, how do these relate to contradictions? Well, we're able to be drafted and deployed at 18 because we are consensual adults, but we aren't able to drink until 21 because we aren't consensual adults. It makes no sense. The next thing I'm going to talk to you about is how to filter out contradictions that you hear. In relation to what I said earlier, you'll hear many contradictions in your life, perhaps every day. Clear and Open's Joseph Shapiro states that contradictions are sometimes so subtle they require deep listening to detect, which is so incredibly true. Personally, I believe that this is why many contradictions aren't spoken about. If you can't catch the contradiction, how will you debunk it? Well, after many hours of reading and exploring how to catch a contradiction, my best advice for you is that if something doesn't make sense, explore more, and figure out why it isn't making sense in the grander scheme of things. Author Art Markman of Fast Company says that there are no automatic mechanisms in your brain that point out the inconsistency and force you to resolve it. With this being said, one of the best and most powerful tools that you are already equipped with is your brain. If something doesn't make sense, ask more and search more. And yes, it might be hard to reach out to the US government and ask why we can't drink yet, but you can ask someone who is pro-choice for vaccinations but not pro-choice when it comes to abortion and women's health care how that makes any damn sense. Now that you have looked at what contradictions are and how to filter them, now it's time to talk about how minimizing contradictions in your everyday life can help you. For my first tip, as stated before, you have a world of knowledge that is available for you to use it, so use it. By simply looking up your personal beliefs, you'll find out many vast and varying options and facts on it. My second tip is read, read, and read. Reading trusted sources that are factual and concise will help you to stop contradicting yourself in future encounters. Something that helps me is to step outside of my box and think about how people might think about what I'm saying. You don't want to be the person that people talk about and say, oh, you just never know where they're at. One moment it's this and another moment it's that. If we all simply do more research on our beliefs, whether strong or neutral, you'll ultimately become more trusted and more knowledgeable. It's hard to catch our contradictory beliefs and even harder to reconcile them. For my speech today, I have informed you on contradictions. I hope that after this, you are able to not only point out contradictions that are in your life, but also educate yourself further in a topic that might leave you or other people questioning. Identifying contradictions, filtering them out, and preventing contradictions are all things that I am very confident you can all do. So, if I'm going to hell because I'm gay, and you believe that as long as God is in your heart will you have sex before marriage, all I can say is, see you in hell. Thank you. Thank you.
Questions? I just want to say, like, that was a hard topic. That was a hard topic.
Yeah.
That required a lot.
Yeah, that's right, baby. That camera, I guess I'm on.
You dug for that.
Yeah. Any questions?
I'll see you in hell too.
That's right.
They're having a party. Questions, challenges? Anybody have anything to say?
Great job on your voice. It was very easy to hear you throughout the whole thing.
Thank you. Any negatives?
You want to challenge her on anything?
Literally anything.
I challenged some of the things she said, but I think that's a debate for a different time. I thought the speech was very well given. I don't necessarily agree with everything that was said, but
That's okay.
it was delivered in a really good way.
Excellent.
Anything else? Good.
That was great.
6.5, it's you, baby.